guess why this hockey puck reminds me of my earlier days in leadership. My name's Randy Pipes. I'm a personal, life, and leadership development coach and the founder and president of Life Development Services. You may or may not recognize yourself as being a leader, but you should. If you don't know what you want and actively lead your life towards it, your life will always default to someone else's agenda or will conform to your circumstance. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back to the story about the hockey puck so I can finish telling you why it reminds me of my earlier experiences of being a leader. Many years ago, when I was very young, my mom decided that I needed to take swimming lessons. She took me to a local organization and signed me up for classes. The instructor took a hockey puck, threw it into the pool, and told me to dive in and get it. I don't know if I was accidentally enrolled in a more advanced class or what exactly happened. All I know is that I was terrified. Not wanting to disappoint the instructor, I went headfirst into the pool and almost drowned myself. The rest of the details are a little fuzzy. All I know is that I never went back to those classes again. The next week, my mom signed me up for classes at a different pool. This time, the instructor gave better instructions and was more compassionate in her approach. She started by having the class put our faces in the water while we held our breath. Then, we learned to blow bubbles while we turned our heads to take a breath. Finally, she had us hold onto a styrofoam kickboard as she walked alongside of each of us as we kicked our way through the water. Eventually, she turned us loose and watched us go. I spent some wonderful summers at that pool. Unfortunately, a lot of leaders are quote-unquote developed using the hockey puck in the pool technique. I believe there's a much better way. In the next video, I want to share a little bit about where I've come from. I'm sure you'll be able to connect with some of my story. I've served in many leadership capacities my whole life. I'm the first of 3 brothers. I led in different ways in my schools. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I've served through a variety of jobs. Here's me with my brother Scott, one of my very earliest attempts at leadership. But no one really ever took the time to show me how to be a leader. Leadership was kind of a hit or miss thing for me. Just because I was out front a lot doesn't mean that I had a clue how to get people to the place I wanted to lead them. Here are some examples of some of my leadership highs and lows. I graduated from high school with honors and started getting pressure to choose a college. Problem was, I had no clue who I was, what I was good at, or what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I did the only natural thing. I chose to attend school where my girlfriend had enrolled. At least I ended up marrying that girl. In college, I was class president, on the student activities committee, and led in other ways. I graduated with honors, but still didn't have a clue what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I chose my major for all the wrong reasons. Fortunately, it all worked out okay. But it gives you some insight into how reactive I could be. Not exactly a great display of leadership. After college, I became a youth pastor at a large church. I grew a group of 14 kids to become hundreds strong. Over the 10 years that I was there, I served thousands of people. I was blessed to be widely recognized. I was able to lead and train many people. I served as school teacher, guidance counselor, wrestling coach, and camp director. I was director for the church's outreach to the needy, counseled many adults, did weddings and funerals, and served in other capacities. Much of this experience was amazing. Much of it was frustrating. No one really showed me how to be a leader. I was pretty much left to myself. I learned a lot, but most of it was from the School of Hard Knocks. Then, I founded and ran a nonprofit ministry. For the next 10 years, this organization gathered local leaders. It created ways to facilitate cooperation between our community's churches. Some great things happened. I learned a lot. Mostly the hard way. My effort there did not ultimately succeed, but the heart of that work lives on in many of my current projects. During that same period of time, I got a part-time position at another large church as the director of ministries to single adults. This was a wonderful place. The people were great, the times were good, and there was a measure of success. But the position was not a great fit. After a few years, I left with their blessing to pioneer a new church plant, which I still oversee today. Once again, there have been many highs and lows, and most of what I've learned has been through trial and error. Our church has experienced times of great growth, as well as the pain of a church split with many people leaving. All of this made me a stronger leader. My experiences created a passion to guide people through a process of finding their unique place in life. I kept working to define and perfect this process. Eventually, I began working with large and small businesses to develop leaders and potential leaders. I began to get invitations to coach and train people nationally and internationally. I fine-tuned my skills and perfected my process. Each one of my experiences with leadership was formative for me. When I stand back and look at my life, I can see that the things that frustrated me the most grew into a passion that really began to define me in a wonderful way. It's because of this passion that I'm connecting with you today. In the next video, I want to tell you how it all began to click for me and the impact that I believe this can have on your life. What I'm about to tell you is not intended to make you feel sorry for me. I really believe that some of you will see a glimpse of yourself through my transparency. I want you to know that you're not alone and that the things that I've learned from my experiences can help you. Here are some of the ingredients that have influenced me to train and coach people in leadership development, especially those who are wired like me. The blessing of great parents who believed in me. A support network of family and friends. I had lots of freedom to use my imagination. I had lots of room and time to practice. I received forgiveness when I made mistakes. The frustration of being creative and visionary. I was able to see things before they were mainstream. I knew things before they were readily accepted by others. I was incapable of fully expressing what I knew. I was often misunderstood. And I felt alone, even though I had lots of friends and support. A strong Type A personality, ambitious, independent, and strong-willed. I longed for someone to mentor me. This did not happen until I was in my mid-40s. I had great leadership opportunities with no real oversight. My strength was interpreted by some as rebellion. Other leaders seemed to watch from a distance while I did my own thing. It seemed that no one was willing to work with the wild stallion in me in order to harness my strength. Because of this, most of what I learned was through the School of Hard Knocks. Strong passion and purpose. My longing for a mentor became a passion to mentor others. Through trial and error, I kept experimenting on myself and others. I sought to help people build lifestyles that matched their unique passion and giftedness, their purpose, if you will. Eventually, I transitioned into business and worked with various sized companies to develop their high potential leadership. Being a leadership development coach gave me a new perspective. As I fine-tuned my methods, I saw more dramatic results. Here are just a few of the awesome things that I learned about leadership. Number 1. Growth as a leader, unlike physical growth, does not happen automatically. You must be intentional. You must actively choose to seize every opportunity to further your development. Number 2, leadership is essential in personal life, family life, and at work. Number 3, I needed to take responsibility for my growth and development as a leader. Number 4, the best way to make a difference in the world is to develop and influence leaders. Number 5, there's not a nobler calling than to devote your life to positively influence others. Number 6, there's a leader in everyone, but most people just don't realize it. Number 7, no one is qualified to lead everything. We each have an area of genius from which we should lead. Number 8, many people need help to recognize their genius and develop it into a form of expression that can help others. Number 9, Every leader's power is increased when platforms exist to bring knowledge, understanding, and ability to a common table. In the next video, I'll show you how I translated all this into my business, Life Development Services. Personal life and leadership development, coaching, training, and consulting. Our mission is to improve the lives of leaders, facilitating the expression of their unique expertise, creating ways to network their products and services for the mutual benefit of all. There are 3 phases to our business plan. Leadership development, adding value to leaders and potential leaders. Expertise development, facilitating the development and expression of the leader's expertise. Network of products and services, creating ways to network product and service providers for the mutual benefit of all. Everyone has a story, and I believe that your story is related to your life's purpose. Your story needs to be told, and it needs to be published and promoted so others can benefit from it. Can you relate to any of the things that I've shared as I've told my story through these videos? Is there anything that you'd like to share? I want you to know that we're working to develop ways to help you do just that. But for right now, I'd love to capture a few of your thoughts and feelings. Please leave your comment below. I'd also appreciate it if you take a moment to like this page.